gentlemen, Bob Garvey with the Bible Strength Project. Here with another episode of our daily Bible breakdown where we're doing two things. One, we're lifting up biblical truth. Help us get stronger mentally, physically, most importantly, spiritually. Two, we're reading through the entire Bible in a year. And you know what? It's hard. I was thinking about this as we were reading through Jeremiah. Like, we're finally finished Jeremiah. I'm like, holy cow, it's hard. And I'm always bemoaning the point that nobody reads through the entire Bible. I can see why. It's difficult. We just got through one of the most difficult books of the Bible. I thought it was harder than Job. I don't know about you, but we finally got through it today. Our reading today is Jeremiah 51 through 52, the end of the book. And, oh, by the way, I totally forgot to say where I'm at. You know where I'm at. I'm in the barn of knowledge.
Barn of knowledge.
Whew, almost forgot that. Best part, right? Hey, what's our takeaway from the book of Jeremiah, right? One, that nobody gets away from God's judgment, God's justice, right? The Babylonians, who God has been using for so long to punish the Israelites, they get theirs. They get theirs. In fact, most of 51 and 52 are about the Babylonians. Nobody escapes God's justice. King Zedekiah. Do you remember back in chapter 34 of Jeremiah where the prophet Jeremiah goes to Zedekiah and says, look, man, it's over, man. The Babylonians are going to take over. They're going to destroy everything. If you give yourself up, it's going to go well for you. Well, he doesn't listen. Zedekiah tries to sneak out in the middle of the night, and it does not go well for him. He gets carted off to Babylon, and they make him watch the execution of all of his sons. Then they gouge out his eyes, ouch, and put him in shackles and put him in prison for the rest of his life. When a prophet comes up to you and tells you what to do, you probably should listen to that. We do see King Jehoiachin gets released after we get a new king in Babylon. So there's a hopeful note there as well. And, I think here's the biggest takeaway. God is willing to use discomfort and pain and even a little bit of suffering to make his point, to bring you back to him, right? So if I'm experiencing pain, suffering, discomfort, angst of any kind, the first thing I'm going to ask is this something God is allowing in my life to draw me back to him, right? Now listen, this is the key point of our teaching today. I have a pain in my ankle. I have arthritis. I have an old sports wound, right? It's not the pain itself that I'm talking about. It's your interpretation of it. What does that mean? Are you trusting in God? Are you hopeful in God? Do you say God is with me through all of this? Or do you say God has abandoned me? God has left me, right? You're having relationship problems. You're feeling lonely and inconsolable. It's not the loneliness I'm talking about. It's your interpretation of it, right? So it's not the thing that's causing pain. Is how do we interpret it? Do we interpret it with God? All right, man, this situation, it sucks. I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm mad, whatever it is, but God's with me. And he's going to get me through this. And in fact, I'm probably going to come out stronger through this than before. So I'm I can see how God is using this to draw me back to him and to be with him. Do you see my point? It's not the pain itself, it's how we interpret it, with God or without God. We're seeing God's love, peace, and joy through all of this. And I think that's the biggest takeaway through all of the death and destruction of the book of Jeremiah. God is using all these things to draw his people back. He desperately wants them back. They did not listen to all the prophets who said, please come back. He said, I'll show you another way. God amplifies his voice in our lives too until the pain becomes, we can't ignore it anymore, right? So that's the lesson for the book of Jeremiah. What do I do with my notes? Because now it is time for
Today's power verse.
Today's power verse is Hebrews 12:6. For the Lord disciplines those he loves, and he chastises each one he accepts as his child. And we should be thankful for that. Do me a favor. Get out your daily Bible reading tracker, or at least mentally, give yourself a check mark. Give yourself credit for doing the work today. It is hard. That's why nobody does it. But we're getting it done. Bob Garvey with the Daily Bible Breakdown. See you tomorrow.